care what your DJ did. He don't spin like DJ Kid. I don't care what your DJ did. He don't spin.
You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip hop station. The Hype 87.3.
Holla! What's going on? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live right here in ATL on the Hype 87.3. Look at this superstar I got with me today. My goodness, Langston John Blaze. Even your name rings superstar.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Listen, I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm with you, so I'm happy.
I love your energy.
Thank you.
You look amazing. That. Like I told him, I'm gonna say it on camera too. Like you look like a whole model. Like you've got an amazing look about yourself.
I really appreciate that. You got to build that aesthetic, right? So.
Listen, when we get out into this world, perception is everything.
Absolutely.
It really is. People will judge you based upon how you look and how you dress, and not saying that they should, but they do.
Right.
I feel like we all do it sometimes.
And especially being independent too, it's like you want to be able to make a statement without necessarily always having to say something.
Correct.
You know?
Absolutely, 100%. So you say sometimes a new artist fan has to taste test. Wait, let me say that again. Sometimes a new fan has to taste test a new artist.
Yeah.
What's the flavor someone should get when they press play on your music?
Oh my gosh. I think it's interesting because I think that visually you think you might be getting one thing. It's kind of like that thing like where you taste something and it gives you different nuances once you like actually savor it.
Right. Okay.
I feel like I'm one of those people because it's going to be a little bit, I think foundation wise, especially being a black man, it's like R&B is always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then as you grow and you are sort of being able to educate yourself on different musicians and like just different sounds. There's a little bit of alternative that slides in there, rock as well. But like pop has always been my main foundation though.
Got you.
Yeah.
So let's go back a little bit and pay some homage. Who is maybe one of your favorite pop artists and one of your favorite R&B artists?
Oh man, I guess I can really only say one name, and that's Michael Jackson, because he's always been able to create that duality. And I'm like, I call myself a dangerous baby because that was kind of like my introduction to Michael.
Yeah.
And I feel like for that time, he understood the time.
Yes.
Which was obviously like New Jack Swing was probably one of the biggest eras of R&B and mixing hip hop.
Yes.
But he also understood how to make that genre his own because it didn't sound like a typical New Jack Swing sound. You know what I mean? He still understood the blend of like creating different sounds and different. Michael's using trash cans and like different things to build, like that sound. So it doesn't sound like a typical New Jack Swing record. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. MJ is hands down one of the, if not the greatest to ever do it.
Absolutely.
I feel like that he set the bar so doggone high.
So high.
Because like he's been gone for a very long time.
Yeah.
And there's young kids who know who he is.
Absolutely. I see it on TikTok all the time, like kids dancing to the Thriller video.
Yeah. Is that the type of impact that you look to leave through your music?
I do, but what I've also understood is that it can't be forced because
Right.
it'll come across that way.
100%.
So I have to allow myself to be in whatever journey that I'm in. And then there are songs that I want to cater to younger audiences, especially as it deals with like finding your identity and like all those sort of things, those weird ages like where you're just trying to figure out who you are. I think that just like is a natural topic that just relates to kids.
No, facts.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. So for someone just discovering you,
Yeah.
who is Langston John Blaze in 3 words?
Oh my gosh. Langston John Blaze is mysterious. He's charismatic. And he's funny. I think that like I'm so low key that people don't know it at first, but once you start to gradually get to know me, because I'm such an observer,
Yeah.
You start to get those parts of me. I don't think I bring them out all the time because sometimes I'm very careful at the way that I engage with people.
Yeah.
I don't think that people are always deserving of all the parts in me that some people get.
That is a
So,
huge one.
Yeah,
We have to set boundaries for ourselves,
absolutely.
and we have to be mindful of who has access to us.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes that gets confused with not being yourself. It's not that, it's just the percentages that I decide to give you. I'm seeing how much of it you can handle.
Listen, I be getting accused of the mean girl type of, and I'm like, I'm really not. I have to protect my peace.
Absolutely. And you have to know yourself to know you're not a mean giran.
Man, that is
you know
a
what I mean? Because
fact.
you can get confused and like, man, is this who I actually am?
Right.
And if you don't know yourself, that could be some of those things like where you're having to jump hurdles through something that you never really had to begin with.
Absolutely. We should never allow anybody else to define us.
Absolutely.
It starts with us. Like you said, self-love. We have to love ourselves
Yes.
first. And another thing that I had to learn along my journey was being okay with being by myself.
Oh, yeah.
I always in my younger years felt like I needed someone there. I want to be in a relationship. Now I'm
Right.
in a season of my life where I'm like, I'm loving being by myself.
And you know, I'll be honest, I've always been there.
Good for you.
Like I've dated and like, you know, have experiences with different people, but the relationship that I have with myself is almost like when someone does enter my life, where I'm already a duo, you know, just
love
within
that.
me. You know what I mean? So like sometimes I think I love myself almost to a fault, like where I'm having to even get myself out the house.
Me too.
Yeah, you know,
me
I'm
too.
such a homebody.
Me too. Like it takes a lot.
It
like
does.
I either come here or I go to the grocery store. Obviously,
Yeah.
I got to get food.
Right.
Gym, you know, the basics. But I really, you won't. Not anymore. You don't see me in no clubs, none of that stuff. I have no desire.
Unless I just like have to, because
Yeah,
I know I
unless I
have to
have
get
to.
these records out and like get the people's perspective on like what's working and like what I could work on. But if I don't have to be out, I'm not outside.
Me either, because there really is nothing out there.
It's nothing out there.
It's like chaos sometimes, you
It
know. The
is.
traffic out here be stressing me the hell
Yeah.
out. And what would you say is the absolute best quality about yourself as an artist and as just a person?
I love an artist, and this is something that I had to learn about myself, and I've learned throughout the artists that I love. I love everything to be very conceptual, and I never want you to look at a photo of me and be able to say, damn, what era was this? Because it looks like the last one. Like, I always want it to be presented differently, so you understood what I was creating at this point in my life, and like so on and so forth. If I look at a picture of Michael Jackson, I can say this was the bad era. This is the dangerous
Right.
era, and I want to be able to create that same sort of aesthetic through my music and all my work, to be honest with you.
I love that. So you're truly allowing people to see the different seasons and, like you said, different
Absolutely.
eras of your life.
Yeah, like that's something that I think is just important, and like even sonically, like I feel like I was listening to my first EP a few weeks ago, and every time I'm creating a new project, and this one's called the Extravaganza. With the first project, I was just listening to the way I sound. Like I don't sound the same way that I do now. Like, and it's just like growth.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So yeah, what do you feel like within your music has been the biggest growth? Is it just your sound and the way you're delivering your music?
Well, particularly with this record, since it's so much geared to the LGBT community, I wanted to create a world that felt very authentic to things that are like a subculture for that community.
Yes.
So ballroom culture is one of the biggest things that you can experience in our culture, and
Yeah.
it's just so much that entails people who felt like misfits, people who were abandoned by their family, and how we just started to sort of celebrate that in some sort of positive way. So with all these different categories, you have people that build a name for themselves, and like there's so many MCs and people who are house fathers and house mothers that create this sort of safe space for people who feel abandoned, and they find themselves through these communities.
Absolutely. I feel like community is so important.
Absolutely.
It's like, quick, I'm an OG, y'all. But when I was in high school, I was like one of the few white girls who dated black dudes, you know, and it seems like all the white girls who did, we congregated together. We built our own little
Yeah.
community because, like, not to say we're an outcast, but, you know, that even back then, people were kind of frowning upon it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you have to find people that become your safe space, per
Yeah.
se, people that you feel comfortable with.
And what's so interesting is that it took me finding people who are different to understand that I was different.
Yes.
Because you may not even understand musically why something isn't hitting.
Right.
And it may not always be that you need to progress in that area. It's just that people have to catch up to you.
There you
And
go.
sometimes you have to just sacrifice just knowing that, and not necessarily not understand what's happening in the time. So I think being a musician, you have to understand the time, but you don't have to be a victim of like following every trope of the times.
That's
You can still
facts.
create different nuances of what feels key to you.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely. So you've danced,
Absolutely.
acted, written,
Yeah.
rapped, sung online. Like, hold on, you've done everything. Do you see yourself as like a pop star, a creative director, or a full multimedia universe?
The term that I love to use the most that identifies me is I'm an entertainer.
Entertainer, okay.
That's my foundation. Like when I look at people like like Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Even though I think that people know him as a musician, there's so many other things and think that he was so creative and interested in. And I feel the same way. I just wrote my first screenplay not that long ago.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And it's all of it's always been what I wanted to do. But what happens is that when you're an artist, especially independent artists, you do have to create some sort of foundation so people are not confused. You know what I mean? So like I've always kind of relied on different times in my life where I knew I was concentrating on certain things so people could understand that this is what he's working on right now and it seems like it's carrying on, and those other little separate things are also key things to look forward to.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, because my business partner, who's a real OG, he's been in this business for 30 years, he says that as well. Like, if you are kind of like all over the place, people don't know, what am I supposed to be supporting? What are you doing? And so you have to kind of like figure out a way to let people know this is what's on the forefront. I do all this other stuff too.
Right.
And if you're a music artist and you want to introduce other stuff like that you do, like being an actor or what, you got to somehow find a way to
put it in there.
Yeah.
You can. And you can too. That's another big thing that I love to do. Like I love to create these long form music videos. So that would definitely something that we do for the Extravaganza too.
Definitely. So you gained traction with the web series like Freefall.
Yeah.
Okay. How did acting prepare you for the music industry?
You know what? I've always been a little actor. Like I would have my sister in our room climbing dressers and pretend like we were on. I've always had this very creative mind without actually having to sort of like hone in it to like rehearse it. The improv sort of part of me has always been there. I just kind of had to polish it, obviously, when I got to like grade school. And so it's always been something that kind of followed me. It's like it just kind of came with the territory. It's like seeing your shoe untied and you tie it. Like it just felt natural to do so. So it was never anything like where I feel like I had to overly rehearse it.
Yes. No, absolutely. I feel like I get that essence from you. Like it's just very natural.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's the best way to be, because it's like, who wants to walk around putting a facade on all the time? That's stressful.
It's very stressful and it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. I ain't got time for it. I'm already tired enough from everything else.
Yes.
So let's talk about Extravaganza.
Yeah, sure.
What does Extravaganza represent to you in this chapter of your life?
Oh man, so originally Extravaganza started off with the duality of my last album called The Boys of Trouble. And that album was under the working name John the Don.
Is this what this represents right here?
Yes, this is the Extravaganza. So, and then the second project was supposed to be like a part 2 to it, was going to be called John the Icon. My sister was like, Langston, they ain't hitting for me. So I was like, and she challenges me so much because she's a hip hop head, but she also just loves music in general. And I was walking around my living room one day and it just hit me out of nowhere, the word. And knowing that this album was going to be dedicated to the LGBT community, I started watching different documentaries about ballroom culture, and I found this one called Paris is Burning, which is probably one of the most famous LGBT documentary about ballroom culture.
Okay.
And there was
Where is it available?
It's actually on Netflix.
Okay, got you.
If you put it in, it'll come up on I think multiple places.
Okay, I would like to check it out.
Yeah, you should. And they tell you about just all the different terminologies that we use to this day that we think are new. All of this, like that stuff is old. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there was a house called Extravaganza. So it was kind of like this like full circle mode, because I didn't know that. I had no idea there was a house called Extravaganza, and they spell it with an X.
Oh, okay.
So that was another way that I was wanting to dedicate this project to particularly not even just the house, but just the ballroom culture as a whole, and like really sort of do a deep dive, so it didn't feel like I was just using something, even though I am a part of the community, because just to be a part of the LGBT community doesn't mean that you're associated with ballroom. It's its own sort of separate culture that you really kind of have to know what you're talking about and kind of deep dive into that.
So it's like New Jack Swing meets house / EDM.
Well, that's where this album goes.
The new
I really
album.
wanted to dedicate that album to the era of the 80s and the early 90s.
Got you. The whole
Ballroom was
nostalgia.
Yes, and ballroom is so prominent in that time.
Yes.
Where I think it also did start just before the 80s, but like the way that we see it now, with the way that Madonna used it with like the Vogue record, and the way that we've seen even artists like Janet Jackson cater to so much of that quality, I think that nuances of just the gay culture when it comes to pop music.
Yeah.
You see it in the 90s, but it's so slightly that you need an artist like a Madonna to bring it to the forefront.
Right.
Whereas with now, we see Beyonce doing a renaissance, and she's like speaking about particularly LGBT culture.
I love it.
So if any time now, this would have been the perfect time to really do a deep dive.
Absolutely. Teddy Riley's been an inspiration for you.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Talk to us about that. You know, what specifically did you study or maybe pull from his blueprint?
Just his presence. Remember the Time is the first Michael record that I remember. So like as I got older, like you become more detail oriented. Like how was this crafted, and like who was associated with it, and why did Michael Jackson go from like having this amazing relationship with Quincy Jones to wanting to still keep that relationship, but musically go a different way.
Right.
And I think that Teddy was working on something new that he caught along to, and just wanted to know what that was. You know what I mean? When you look at records like My Prerogative and Janet Jackson's All Right, I think he was just kind of interested in what that was and how he could sort of like interpret it.
Yes.
Because you do feel like there's a lot of like electric guitar in Michael's records, and so you see all the different creative windows, but I just think he wanted to sort of blend his sound with what Teddy was doing. I think that they were like a perfect marriage for me, and like I said, that was my introduction to Michael. So hearing records like Keep It in the Closet and Remember the Time, there's a few other records that were just deep cuts on that album that I love just as much. And I have a record on my album called Scandalous and Make Love Through the Speakers that I dedicated to that sound specifically. I feel like I couldn't just do one New Jack Swing record. I said, this has got to like mold into something, and the way that it transitions into the other song, it's just like I wanted, if Teddy ever heard that, like I wanted you to know that this era of music was like my foundation. So that's what that was for.
I love that. And I love when artists can pay homage to other artists that inspired them, because some artists will never admit to that.
It's true.
You know, they want to make, I did all this on my own. It's okay to draw inspiration and make it your own.
Yeah. And at a younger age, I got to meet him by a whim. He came in, I don't know if it was with Blackstreet, because you know he's been in several different moving pieces when it comes to groups and producing.
Yes.
And I got all their outfits ready. So I got to tell him that like, hey, you really inspired me. And he was so humble. He's like, me? Because I'm younger, obviously. He couldn't even believe that I knew who he was.
So where was this at?
Zara.
Run us through that time for people that aren't familiar.
Oh my gosh. So he just came in and I looked at him like, because he's got that signature look.
Yes.
Like, I know this is not who I think it is right now coming in the building. And yeah, I got all their outfits ready. It was him and his band members. And I had to let him know how much he inspired me.
Man,
you know?
what a time to be alive.
Moment. Oh my gosh. It was so great.
Did you guys get any photos or anything together?
No, because I'm trying to be professional and I'm at work. But talking to him enough was like, I'll never forget that.
That is amazing. So let's talk about All the Boys.
Yeah.
That's a statement title.
Thank you.
Like, it's a statement title.
Absolutely.
What message were you sending out to the world when you wrote this record?
Well, I think it's more literal than what people would actually think. Obviously, I'm talking about a sense of a man that feels that because he likes a certain man or a certain woman that he has to be posted on the wall when he's at the club. And I feel like the 80s, especially talking about this on this album, like that's the time where you see men dance the most.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out, where did that become not cool all of a sudden?
Listen, please, I want to know, because I used to love going out and who am I going to dance with tonight?
Yeah.
Who am I going to grind on tonight?
I'll be honest with you, it affected me too. So with this first single, I decided to make it an EP of 5 different versions. And it's and I wanted to do that because I wanted all men to sort of feel like no matter what you are or who you like, have fun.
100%.
And if that's represented through dance, do it. You know what I mean? And like even in the first verse, I say, I've been a prisoner in my own mind. And that was me just kind of saying like, inside I want to dance, but I'm trying to look cool. You know what I mean? It's like, how do we kind of break away from that? And I think that dance, funny enough, is vulnerable.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
And people don't look at it that way because there are people that we see that are maybe more feminine, or just women in general that we see dance a certain way, and we see them be liberated through that. And I feel like if you're masculine or whatever the case may be, you should be able to have that same liberation.
I couldn't agree more, because one thing that I know about life is we cannot please everybody.
Absolutely.
Nor should we try to.
And have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
We are literally here for a blip of time.
Absolutely.
We don't know when we're going to check out.
Yes.
We don't. That's like one thing in life that we don't know, unless we obviously take our own life, which is terrible. But outside of that, we don't know. So it's like you have to live your life on your terms.
It's true.
If someone don't like it, that's a them problem. I say it all the time. You don't like me, that's your problem.
And I think that part of me, like, studying the ballroom culture, getting to see people like Lariah Lee and Andre Hilton, who are house fathers,
Yes.
because they've been such an example in our community. We have a term in our community called Butch Queen, and I never understood what that meant. And it's sort of blend between understanding both your masculine and your femininity.
Okay.
And I think for me, for a long time, when people, it's like accepting who you are and telling people who you are is never enough. They want to know, okay, well, now, what kind of gay are you? Are you more masculine? Are you more feminine? And I've always kind of felt sort of like in between this sense of both, like where I feel like I'm protective like a man,
Yeah.
but like my fashion choices may sort of ride a fence with certain people, you know what I mean? Or just even with my own nuances.
Got you.
So I felt like more comfortable with that terminology, and people like that I just named, they kind of put themselves in that sort of category as well.
So did you know from early on, like a little boy, that I'm gay? Did you know that early on?
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
I did, but I also was in a social norm sort of like feeling where everyone else around me is not aware of what's happening. Like
Right.
this is sort of some sort of thing that people do that when they're different and like trying to stand out in a way that is rebellious.
Yeah.
And once I obviously stepped into my adolescence and to those weird 12 to 13-year-old areas, like, why am I having these feelings? I like Jasmine Guy, but I'm realizing that I just think she's pretty.
You're right.
You
I'm
know what I
I'm
mean?
not physically attracted to her or sexually
and
attracted
I was
to her.
having all those feelings about all those women of those eras that were just obviously gorgeous.
Yeah.
But after a time, I just realized, actually, especially when I was coming into those 18, 19, and then venturing off into college, I'm starting to have these feelings. I'm not understanding why I'm having them. And then I also feel like something's wrong with it. So I had to get through all of that to sort of, even to be able to create an album like Extravaganza. You know what I mean? Because I think that before, I was still creating music that was geared toward my community. I've never shied away from that. But this album is visually me saying that this is who I am, take it or leave it.
I
can
know
make
that's
music
right.
for everybody. You know what I mean?
Clock that tea.
If Beyonce can do albums that are geared toward women and men listen to them, why can't I do music that's geared toward the LGBT community
100%.
and everybody celebrate it?
So what would you say to any young men or women out there who may be on the fence with, I'm not sure if I do like someone, you know, of the same sex, or is afraid to talk about it? Because I feel like we should absolutely be ourselves, whether people like it or not, who cares?
Absolutely.
What would you say to them?
I would say take your time, because you're also going to find people who have already accepted or maybe lived their truth, but had to go through those hurdles as well, that want you to just catch up to where they are. And I think that there's this sort of like conversation piece about be yourself and rushing into whatever that means. I think that people put so much pressure on people to be themselves when they don't know who that is. You know what I mean? So how can I be myself if I'm still discovering all the parts of myself that I am?
Absolutely, because
You know?
I feel like some people, it takes them into their adulthood to find themselves. Some people into their like 30s, you know what I'm saying? To
and
really
it bothers people for some reason. It's like, I'm not where you are.
Everybody's journey is different.
Absolutely.
We can't, comparison is a thief of joy.
It is.
We cannot compare our journey to anybody else's.
true.
And I love that for you. I love that
Thank
you're
you.
just who you are unapologetically.
Thank you so much for that.
Of course you're welcome. Like, cause I'm on that type of time too, you know,
have
like
to be.
like I told you, my son is biracial, and you know, he's about to be 32. He a whole grown man. And 32 years ago,
How are you old enough to have a 32-year-old?
I drink my water and mind my business. You know, and it's like, dealing with that, I got it from both sides. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, and I was just like, it really taught me that, you know, I can't care what other people think.
Can't.
As long as I'm happy, then that's what is my family and my immediate people are happy. That's all that matters.
That's
all
all
them
that
all
matters.
naysayers, bump them.
To the side. They're just there.
So as an artist openly exploring romance and gay relationships in pop music, do you feel pressure to represent the LGBTQ like community, or just tell your truth? Do you feel any pressure behind that?
I don't, and I also want people coming into it not to feel pressured as well, because I have friends right now that are part of the community. They're open, but I noticed that maybe they don't feel necessarily comfortable discussing it in their music.
Got you.
And I think that it creates people just having to find things like shout out to Ballroom Throwbacks on Instagram, because like even like finding pages like that where I'm looking at different people and seeing the way they interact with crowds, especially like I said, once again, the ballroom culture, it really kind of taught me to sort of like just take my time. And I feel like this is Extravaganza is probably the most blunt I've ever been with lyrically talking about who I am in my community.
You have to, like you said, take your time. We have to give ourselves grace.
Absolutely.
We are oftentimes our hardest critic.
Yes.
Our hardest on ourselves for get this done, do it right now. Like,
I'm even a victim of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we just, like you said, take your time with it.
Take your time.
Listen, all good things are not rushed.
It's true.
Because oftentimes when you rush something, as quickly as you got it, it goes away.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. Even with this album, so we were originally slated for March 27th. And there's all these little like voice notes and things that are going to build this sort of world that I'm creating with it. So we decided to push the album back to June.
Oh, okay.
So the EP for All the Boys will actually come out on March 27th.
Nice.
Which is the original album date. So I wanted to give the people something. You know what I mean? That was important to me. So the vinyls will be out then for this particular single. And then the album, I feel like it's a summertime record. Like even the song to me just has that feeling. So I feel like, once again, just not rushing it. Just not rushing it and letting all the moving pieces kind of come together.
And I feel like more people need to understand exactly what you said, because people try to rush everything.
Yes.
But haste makes waste.
Yes.
Oftentimes when you rush through something, you make a mistake or you forget something. Now you got to backtrack, and now it's taking you longer than it would have been if you just took your time in the first place.
And we're independent. I think that's one thing I want independent artists to understand, is that like you have all the time in the world. You have all the time in the world to make all the mistakes without having everyone's opinion about something. Be your own boss. That's really why I took this independent route. I think that I really had the opportunity at some point to maybe sign with a major, but like creatively, I'm just such in a place of wanting to be a part of every piece. And I feel like being independent allows you to do that.
Have you thought about starting your own label?
That's the next step. So Cold Summer Universe, you'll hear me say that a lot on the album. And it's kind of me sliding that in without sort of like forcing it down people's throat, but like just letting them know that that's somewhere else that I want to definitely venture into in the future.
I know that's right. Sign yourself.
Absolutely. You
and
have
then
to.
Maybe a partnership or something along the way.
Absolutely.
So you were working on Extravaganza while releasing a rap EP.
Yes.
The boys are trouble.
Yes.
Yes, they are. Do Rap Blaze and Pop Blaze ever crash?
Oh, I love that question. You know what? I feel like they do, but in subtle nuances. In ballroom culture, MCs are not treated like rappers, but there is a lot that is there. And I think that people have to stop separating gay culture from black culture.
Yes.
It is all the culture.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I feel that, yes, so they do cross paths. On this record, I feel like they're the perfect marriage. I feel like it's more rap singy, but I feel like it's still that sort of perfect. I was me trying to almost speak to people who may be more hip hop heads than like R&B and pop heads. And it kind of marries the two ideas, because obviously on the hook of the record, it's more like rap singy. But like on the verses, I really wanted to dedicate that to more of a vocal style. So it was me kind of trying to marry those two ideas from what you got on The Boys Are Trouble and sort of like sending you this way, but not like forcing you to go that way at the same time.
Man, it sounds like you did it perfectly.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that.
That is amazing. And that was the perfect answer you gave, too.
Thank you.
So you've openly said you've been ignored and undervalued. What kept you going during those moments?
Like I said, it's just something, when I get discouraged, I don't allow myself to marinate in it. That's the biggest thing. I can't dwell there.
Right.
And those for me were the true test of, did I really want this or not?
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of friends who have made amazing career paths for themselves, just do different things, that originally wanted to do music. And for some reason, I cannot let it go. And I think obviously having connections to it too. Static Major was a family friend, and I did not know that. He's also from Louisville, Kentucky, where I'm from. And he worked with Aaliyah. So he was one of my biggest inspirations to sort of like really push my pen, and also like hopefully had the opportunity to work with him. So when the Lollipop record came out with Wayne, it was during the time where he had that brain aneurysm and passed away. Man. So that was a really hard pill to swallow. And then like, I actually think it pushed me even more to sort of like feel like, if he could do it at such a young age and leave a small town like Louisville, anybody can do it.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like in times like that, even if it seems like a bad situation,
Absolutely.
you lose somebody, you got to find a positive.
Yes.
And it inspired you. That was the positive that you pulled from it. Have the same people that doubted you started supporting you now? Are they supporting you now?
I feel like it's gonna happen, and I think I prepared myself for it.
Okay.
Because I think that that's just a part of the journey. Like things become so full circle. So I'm so concentrated on work right now. I don't even have time to think about people that have doubted me.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? Because I know that
that's
even
right.
now there are people that may say this or that, but like I'm so focused on projects, and like this album has been crafted for 3 years. Like just like being able to sort of self-identify and say, yeah, we don't need this record. Okay, let's add this one. And if I hadn't waited, we wouldn't have gotten All the Boys. It would have been a whole nother sound. So I just kind of wanted this album also too to feel like a set list, like a DJ set list.
Okay.
So it's 10 records. I didn't want to do a whole lot of records, especially when people are still getting to know me. I wanted you to hear an album like this with also too being a 90s kid, it's like I want those 4-minute records, but we live in a different time now.
Yes, it's microwave era now.
So with even doing the All the Boys EP, I wanted to even talk about that, like dedicate little shorter records and like do the long ones. And there's a Ballroom mix song of All the Boys that I'm just rapping on. So like I wanted to create all those different experiences for people. So when they get the album, it's like I feel like I kind of need a buckle on my seat because he's giving me different things that I don't know what to expect. So that was important for me.
Absolutely, you're right. We are now in an era where some songs are like a minute and some change.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's crazy.
I graduated in 1992, back in the 90s, and
the best time.
Listen, what a
the
time.
Best era.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
I am thank God that I got to experience that. Like I tell everybody, one of my fondest memories from the 90s outside of having my son was, man, I got to come to Atlanta for Freaknik.
Oh, man.
What a time to be alive. Woo! Y'all ain't never gonna see them photos. I'm telling you, like, it was such a beautiful time to be alive.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, the music that came out, it's just, I need you to bring all of that back.
And you see people trying to do it. Like you see Summer Walker and the Tiana Taylors and the way even Sierra did Body Party. Like I loved that, man. It just made you feel like, you know what I mean? That 90s kid feeling like came back to me, you know?
It's so nostalgic and fun and
It's
so
beautiful.
What's the most extravaganza thing about your personality?
Oh, man, I think I try to be as inviting as I can, but also too, I'm also at a point in life too where I've realized that everyone can't be invited to the party.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to think about the people who you have invited.
Yes.
Yourself, and like all that together is, I think, created this type of person where I try to think about everyone, but always keep myself as a centerpiece. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not right, everyone around me can't be right.
Facts.
You know?
Absolutely. So when fans see you dancing online in that performance mode, is that really you 24/7? Is that who you are?
That is Langston John Blaze. That is so Blaze is that part of me that like is the outspoken part. Langston is kind of chill.
Okay.
I'm Langston today.
Okay, you Langston today.
So John Blaze came from an Aaliyah song, and when she passed away, obviously she's one of my biggest inspirations. Her and Missy has this thing like she likes to feature an R&B artist on her record and be the feature. It's very interesting to me. And when Aaliyah passed, I was still trying to figure out at a very young age what I wanted to go by. So that was my way of dedicating that to her. And but now I've self-identified Blaze as my more outspoken side. That part of me that like is very protective, but like not gonna let you say or do anything that doesn't make me feel comfortable.
Would you call it an alter ego, or is that just another side of you?
I feel like when I was maturing, it was. Now I've understood that it's just a different side of me. The same way that I have a conversation with my mother is not gonna be the same conversation that I have with my best friend.
Got you.
I respect both, but I know that the vernacular and the jargon has to change with the two.
Absolutely.
So it's that.
Absolutely.
It's definitely that.
So you're originally from Louisville.
Yes.
Do you reside here now?
I'm here in Atlanta.
What brought you to ATL?
Well, actually, my father, after he left the military, we were pretty much here.
Oh, okay.
So like I was pretty much given, at that Atlanta culture from the start. Even living in like Douglasville and like the Cobb County area, which I know that's not Atlanta, everybody.
I know they gonna come for you.
Castrate me. But I still feel like if anyone can say, I've still got that Atlanta experience, especially being in high school.
Yes.
And getting to see different people from like whether it be from church or like different communities where they actually are from the city. So that was a great thing.
Absolutely. So have you had the opportunity to move around Atlanta and do shows and performances? Are you into that?
That's actually what I want to do more. I feel like I've actually experienced it more outside my city than in my city.
It happens like that often.
It does, and I think with Extravaganza, I want to do like a virtual tour to sort of like introduce myself to like a wider audience. So those are things like that. Obviously, videos we're going to be working on with this particular record. There's a lot of like alien, extraterrestrial themes that we're working on with the record. So it's just exciting. Even the album cover itself, if you notice, like it looks like we're in space. And I feel like the LGBT community is kind of like that alienized culture, and I wanted to sort of like talk about that in the music.
That's why you and I relate, because I'm an alien.
See? I'm a Taurus too, by the way.
I am.
Are you a Taurus?
Yes.
No way.
April 29th, baby.
That's the connection.
Yes.
That's what it is with you.
What's
I
your
figured
birthday?
it out. May 18th.
That's
what, okay. Now I understand you.
It's that whole
That's what it is.
Connection.
That's what it is.
Shout out to all the other zodiac
Shout out
signs,
to the Taurus.
but they ain't nothing like a good
It's
Taurus because we're
nothing
so
like
loyal,
us.
loyal to a fault sometimes.
We really are. And we understand world building, even creatively. Creatively,
Yes.
we're just unstoppable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And but we're friendly, but we also understand our friendliness and who to give it to.
That is a fact. Boundaries.
To give it to.
Boundaries.
Absolutely.
But it's so funny that you mentioned alien because my dad and I, our entire life has referenced each other as aliens. Even
No
like
way.
when we text each other, we use the alien emoji often. Like I even went as far as creating my own green alien emoji because, you know, they give you the gray one on
love
iPhone.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, we are not from this world, you know?
Yeah.
That is, man, we connect on so many different levels.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm so excited
Me
about this
too.
album. Yeah.
Listen, let me hold the shirt.
She gonna make me blush, y'all.
Look at that. Look at it. Look at all that goodness over there. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I really want to. Look, I'm over here trying to be professional and shit.
I'm bringing out the ratchet side.
You got to do that to me,
Yeah.
though. You got to do that to me.
Because you good over here.
I am. Yeah, but I wanted the album cover to represent who I am.
I love that.
But I also, too, I think that the black body in particular is always looked at as raunchy. For some reason, we see Greek mythology and we see all these different people who we like, oh, man, this is beautiful. Why can't we be looked at the same way?
100%.
You know?
Black is beautiful, baby.
Thank you so much for saying that.
It is so beautiful.
So, yeah, we worked on this album cover for about a year and a half, like, because we were trying to craft like what parts of it would make sense and build a little bit of that world. So
it's amazing.
Great. Thank you so
I love
much.
It. I slick. Do you have posters?
So okay, so you want that?
Yes, I would hang that up.
Okay, so that's gonna be the next thing we do. LangstonJohnBlaze.com is where you'll find all the merch, by the way.
Okay, so you guys can shop.
If you think that's a good idea, I will do that.
Listen, I feel like every woman and man across the world would hang that up on their bedside. They'd be like,
all right, if y'all want that, we'll do it.
Yes, I feel like that would be super, super dope.
Okay, I see, and I was thinking about that too. I was like, is that too much?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's
all
not.
Right.
I want one. Most definitely. So what does success look like to you right now at this season, this point of your career?
I think I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
I think that part of it, what I figured out is continuing to work. I think that I want to be real with people, by the way. I'm still working a regular job like everyone else. And I think sometimes when we come in these spaces where we get to see me like dressed up and it's like creates this sort of nuance that, oh, he must be on, he must have all this money. I'm still grinding like everybody else. There are people that are 20 steps ahead of me that are still grinding like everybody else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and just hearing those stories make me not shameful of it. And I think that there are these artists that kind of want to be a couch potato and go to the studio whenever they can and do it that way. But you have to grind. You're always going to be your biggest fan. So like that, I've been grinding and working and really trying to get myself level to level where I know I want to be.
Absolutely. So, the grind does not stop.
It does not stop.
It's like, I do have to throw this in there and add it. We do got to get our rest.
Yes.
So important. Sleep
is bad about that, by the way. I need to get better.
Make it very intentional. And, and I say that because like I spent many years of like not getting much sleep. And I feel like it caught up to me because, you know, a couple years back, I got an autoimmune disease and I don't talk about it often. And now it's like I have to make rest my priority because otherwise I get flare-ups and I don't feel good and my body hurts and stuff like that. So prioritize that sleep.
And it's beautiful you speaking about that too, because there are people that may feel ashamed of it. And like hearing someone like you with a beautiful platform speak about that is beautiful. You know what I mean?
We never know what people are going through.
Never do.
Like right now I probably look better than I feel, just being honest, because I'm actually in the midst of a flare. And what a flare is like different parts of your body will be inflamed and it hurts and you don't feel good. But I don't put that type of energy out to the world. Like I told my dad, I don't talk about it to a lot of people because I don't want to put that type of energy out to the world.
Absolutely.
If that makes sense.
It does make sense.
You know, so it's like, we got to be kind to people.
We do.
I say that to say all this, get your rest. Get your sleep.
Rest. You have to do it.
Right.
I'm such a night owl, by the way. I'm such a night. So hearing you say that is a little triggering. 'Cause I'm like, I need to take my butt to bed.
Yes. Listen, I used to be the type of person that for no reason, I'd be up at 2, 3 in the morning scrolling on my doggone phone. And I'm like, this is so not productive.
Oh my God.
11 o'clock now I go to bed.
I need to get like you.
And it's like, unless I have to be up for something, it's like, why am I staying up till 3 for no reason? And then if I get up at 8 in the morning, I'm tired because I only got a few hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Man.
If I'm not mistaken, I contacted you late to get this started. So it's just, I don't know, my brain is just wired at night.
Yes.
And I'm contacting, like, I'm doing obviously my own PR work and like trying to get TV spots and like streaming and like all that sort of thing. So it's just like, I gotta find a way to sort of like balance it out a little bit.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be every night because there are still some nights that I'll still sit up late till 2 in the morning. But
I'm a vampire. I really am.
Listen, vampires are sexy. One of my favorite shows ever was True Blood. Boy, I used to love that show. Man.
But I love all of them, like the Queen of the Damned and the Lost Boys and like all that. So the last album was actually like a whole conceptual thing with that too.
That is dope.
Yeah, I love vampires.
You need some fangs.
The album's called Fangs.
Bruh, why are we so connected?
The album's called Fangs.
That is
so
crazy.
That's where you segued right into that.
That is beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
Listen, I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, by the way.
I'm so serious. Like, you have such beautiful energy.
Thank you. And I want to keep that.
Yes.
You know, even when things don't necessarily go my way.
We gotta like hang out or something sometime.
No, I'm
like,
serious.
Yeah, me too.
This is not me saying this
me
on air.
either.
I mean that.
I swear, like, I'm gonna have to keep you in the loop if I got stuff going on and invite you to come out, because I do oftentimes go out and do media on locations, and it would be a great opportunity for you to meet people and things like that.
I need to more. I actually had a beautiful opportunity in Florida to do Afro Pride.
Oh, okay.
And
what city?
It was in Lauderdale.
Oh, in Lauderdale.
Lauderdale. And I met a friend on Twitter. We were chatting it up, and she was at work, and she had I guess my album cover as her screensaver. And someone that came to the Afro Pride was like, "You know him?" or something like, "How do you have his?" And she told him, and she was like, I was like, "Man, really getting out there, it really matters." Like, you don't think it is. It's like, oh, I'm never going to see these people again.
Yes.
But then you get those subtle connections, and it's like, it shows you how important it is to get out there.
It's a full circle moment.
It really is. Absolutely.
Man, and it's like, those are priceless moments. You can't pay for that.
And she didn't have to tell me that and share that with me, but it just was one more boost to make me feel good about myself.
100%.
Yeah.
So what else do you have in the works coming up that we need to be on the lookout for?
So in June, I have a movie coming out called Black Pride that we shot all of last year. I actually, it's so crazy. Like, you dream something and then you realize when you get it, it's kind of like, I needed to dream a little bit bigger.
Okay,
so I got the opportunity to work with Jesse Smollett a couple of years ago. He's been doing a lot of directing now. And I did a streaming show called Blue Vante with him. And it really just kind of inspired me to sort of develop my own anthology series. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with Alfred Hitchcock. He did obviously he's done a massive amount of horror suspense movies.
Yes.
So I'm also going to be developing like a modern day Twilight Zone that's going to be geared more to LGBT characters in these like horror situations called The Darkest Hour.
I love the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, so I wanted to create something like that newer for people that was like still niche, but like not enough to like where everyone could be exposed to it. So we're going to be working on that during the summer.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's like big things popping for you.
I am trying.
All glory to God.
Oh man, the Most High, right?
The Most High. So you mentioned Twilight Zone. Obviously way back in the day was the Twilight Zone series.
Yes.
Did you ever see, I don't know when it came out, maybe in the 80s, the Twilight Zone movie?
I did, actually.
One of my
doing
favorites.
research for trying to put this series together, but I've actually been watching a lot of the black and white episodes.
Yeah, I love it.
They had some really creepy stuff off on that man. There's this episode about a ventriloquist that gets turned into a ventriloquist, like the doll.
Yeah.
I was freaked out. I said, this has got to be something they do for modern, especially the way that horror has created like a new foundation. Everyone loves horror. I just saw Scream 7 last night.
Oh, man. Was it good?
Oh, I had so much fun. So shout out to Kevin Williamson, by the way. He's another one of my inspirations in writing. And it just kind of boosts my energy because I really want to start creating that type of content during the summer.
Listen, Twilight Zone.
You got, lock it. If you don't know, you heard it from us.
Yes, go check it out because I'm like a crime junkie.
I love it.
I watch, honestly, majority of the time I'm sitting down and I'm watching either the 2020 or Dateline episodes.
You sound like my sister. My sister
love
it too.
Yes, because I'm like, I always try to figure out who did it.
Yes.
You know, I'm like, maybe in my previous life or my next life, I might be like a homicide detective or something.
It might be what it is. I love those Morgan Freeman movies where he's a detective and kiss the girls. I love that.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
Love it.
That's
Absolutely
so dope. So we got your record loaded up and ready to go. Is it okay that we check it out?
Yes, please experience it, guys. Be open-minded. It's something different. It's something fresh. Obviously, it has that Afrobeat sound.
Yes.
But with lyrically, it's something different. So I hope you guys really take into account that it's something different and unique there.
100%.
Yeah.
So tell everybody where they can follow you on your socials.
First of all, go to langstonjohnblaze.com for all the album merch and updates about any shows that I have coming up. I am Langston John Blaze pretty much on all platforms. And just keep staying abreast with me, guys, with what's going on because this is going to be a huge year. June, the album's coming out, the Extravaganza. And I'm just excited for this new journey in my life when it comes to entertainment as a whole.
Absolutely. Who do you want to give thanks to for just loving you and supporting you through your journey?
Oh my God, I lost my father 5 years ago, and I think that he put in my mind the business sense.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And I think that so many of us want to just be the artist, that business part kind of gets left behind. And even though me and my father weren't the same type of business people, I think if it were not for him and seeing him update his business license every year, I'm like, what is that? And he's telling me all those things now, they matter to me way more than they ever have. And my mother too, because all of what you're seeing in me, my charisma and all that is all her. And they say Robin White is a psychologist. She says that kids are an exaggeration of their parents. And I am living truth of that.
100%. Does your mom live here?
My mom actually moved back to Kentucky after my father passed. And yeah, she's been on obviously her own journey now. And now I feel even more of a responsibility to monitor just her mental health.
Yes.
And making sure that she's good. But she's also been a backbone for me too. I would not be the artist that I am if it wasn't for my mother. At all. Even with her not necessarily wanting to be an artist, if it was not for her, I wouldn't have had that spirit.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, shout out to Roberta.
Shout out to Roberta. So you said your dad passed 5 years ago.
Yes.
2021?
Yes.
God, my mom passed in 2021.
That is insane. We have a lot of similarities.
A lot in common.
Yeah.
When did he pass, to be exact?
That was April.
My mom passed in March.
That's insane.
So we literally were going through it at the same time.
Absolutely.
God
and I was
connected us.
Funny enough, too, I was in the middle of recording an album. Then I took a break and just really sort of try to figure out why would this happen to me at this point in life, and really kind of took that time with my family to sort of figure out that jobs will. If I were gone tomorrow, my job would be on a website the next day. So I realized even with my father's passing that I have to do whatever it is that I want to do, even if it feels hard, even if I have to sacrifice certain things that are comfortable for me now, I have to do it, because if I don't, I'm going to be later in life and saying that I used to do this, I wish I would have done that. And who wants to live like that?
Somebody said to me once, there's a lot of dreams in the graveyard.
Oh, man.
I was like, God, that's deep. So many people take their dreams, to the grave with them because they don't do it in this form of life. And it gives me chills even thinking about it.
True.
We have to, whatever it is that we want to do, go do it.
Yeah, and I've heard people, I've been speaking to people just like how you and me are sitting across from each other. I used to do this. You're not dead.
Exactly.
So why not do it? Even if it doesn't make the money at first. You know what I mean? You just have to get it out there and just do whatever it is that's going to get you to those stepping stones.
Just like in this whole music community, especially on hip hop, there's the whole ageism thing.
Oh, man.
If you want to be 60 and still do music, if you're making quality content, who cares what age you are?
Over. Tina did it. Tina Turner did it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now, obviously, she had a foundation.
Right.
But she was 40 plus when those first albums came out.
Yes.
And I don't think that people realize that because she had such a youthful
Oh yeah, she showed
You know what I
did.
mean?
She's
And-
beautiful.
And look how long she was able to carry that.
Yeah.
For years and decades.
years and years. I would probably,
So-
I would say up until like 80, she was still.
No, literally.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so.
So let's go ahead and get into the record. Introduce it for us.
Guys, this is All the Boys by Langston John Blaze. Be locked and loaded. Guys, I love you so much.
Y'all stay tuned.